In a good romantic relationship, the other person makes you feel like you mean the world to them. They don't just love you, they want you. You know, that's the whole point of a romantic relationship. In other relationships, you are needed. At work, you are needed. In other relationships, you are needed. But in a romantic relationship, you are wanted.
Hi everybody, welcome to Mike and Christelle podcast where family meets faith and fun.
Today we have a question. When is the right time for someone to be in a romantic relationship? What do you think, babe?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. There are some families that encourage kids to be in a relationship. Even from a very young age, like 5 years old, 6 years old, you'll see that parents are kind of calling a friend girl or a boy, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You know, they call that. They even encourage that kind of thinking in young kids. And
so you mean they're okay with it?
They're okay with it. Yeah, there's some families that they are okay with it at that young age.
Yeah.
Other families, they are okay with it starting from teenage, like say 13 years old. You can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. There are some families who they don't even
want to talk about
yes
for
stuff. Kids to have a romantic relationship at that age. And some families, they say 16 or 15 or something like that. Or some people say 18 until you turn 18, then you can have a girlfriend or boyfriend. It depends on each family. There are some benefits to it. Some people say if you allow your child to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they are training themselves to handle relationships in the future. Other people would say no. You don't need to train them to have a romantic relationship because there are some mistakes that you can't repair in life that people can make in that young age. And once you've made those mistakes, you can't reverse them. So each side has got a valid point. Should we let our kid follow their feelings from the young age and learn along the way? Do you think that is something we should do?
Well, some things you can get away with, and I think that's why we call them kids, because there's so many things that they don't know.
Yeah.
And actually, there's so many things that they do not need to know. So many things I think they do not need to know.
Do you have an example of something that you think kids
So, for example, if you're a kid and let's say you want to learn how to, let's say, mop the house.
Yes.
You can get away with making mistake with that because there's not going to be really consequences that are going to affect your life. If you do it the wrong way, next time you'll do it again if you want to. And then, you know, until you get it. And so you've learned from the mistakes you've made while you were learning. But some things like relationships, I think that's the stuff that you don't play with.
What do you think a mistake that a 12 years old boy or girl can make, or 13? I think that can be hard to repair.
Yeah, I think, for example, there's some. Are you really ready to handle the complexity that comes with relationship?
Yeah.
Relationship has complexities.
Yes.
So, are you even mature enough to manage yourself and the way you are, like what you think, how are you ready to carry someone else? Like, it's just, I feel like it's...
How about we raise the age to 16? Let's say at 16. Most relationship advisors or experts, they say, maybe 16 is the right age to start. What do you think? Can you carry the complexity of relationships at 16? Do you think someone who is 16 can handle the complexity of relationship?
You can be 16 and have learned how to mop and to cook your food and to go to work and stuff, but you haven't learned how to manage relationships.
So you are talking about maturity. You're talking about relationships come with obligations and expectations.
That's the complexity of them.
Yeah, once you are in a relationship, there are things you have to say or do or not do or not to say. And there are things you expect the other side not to say or not to do. And if you don't play by those rules, you damage the relationship.
Yeah.
So in a romantic relationship, there are expectations and obligations.
Yeah. There's some responsibilities.
Exactly.
Both sides.
Before you start at 16 or at 13, you need to ask yourself the question, do I know these obligations and expectations of this relationship, romantic relationship? Are you ready to handle the weight or the emotional responsibility of handling somebody else's expectations and your own? That means you have to be mature. You have to be mature to enter into a relationship. Let's say you are 16 and you are mature. Yes, you can handle relationships.
What do we mean by mature? So you can handle relationships? Yeah, go ahead. You can handle relationships?
A romantic relationship, honestly, you expect the other person to say the right words to you almost every day. You expect the person to show you that you mean the world to them. You expect the other, unless you don't want it. But in a good romantic relationship, the other person makes you feel like you mean the world to them. They don't just love you, they want you. You know, that's the whole point of a romantic relationship. In other relationships, you are needed. At work, you are needed. In other relationships, you are needed. But in a romantic relationship, you are wanted. You are not just needed, you are also wanted. And you need to feel like your partner is making you feel wanted all the time.
Yeah.
And you also want to make them feel wanted all the time.
At 16, that's a lot of work. I think you should focus on
my
homework.
mother was married at 14. Maybe she was able to handle it.
I'm glad it was... How many years ago? 30,000 years ago. I'm so glad it was.
That is the time of dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad it was back then. Yeah, I think to be honest, maturity is very important. That's one of the things I think that you have to think before you go into a relationship. And usually at 13, you're not mature enough.
Yes, I think so.
I think so. At 16... You
might be, some girls, and I don't want to be judgmental. I think even some girls, but I think some girls can be mature enough at 16 to handle the expectations and obligations of a romantic relationship. I think some people at 16 can, but maturity is one thing. So, some families will just say you have to be ready to get married. You need to be ready for marriage to start thinking about a romantic relationship, because relationships consume you. Like, to be in a relationship, you are consumed into it. And for some people, it's a distraction. Some families will want you to stick to your studies, stick to your plans until you are ready to get married, and then you can engage with someone. You can start, being in a relationship. Some families say that it's too early for you to start 13 or even 16 because you're not yet ready for marriage. You can't even get legally married in Australia, I think. I don't know. I don't think so. I think you need to be 18 or something. That they have their point. They have their point. Like families that insist that you need to be ready for marriage, and ready for marriage is something we'll discuss in another episode. But they have a point. Sometimes relationships can be a distraction if you are not yet ready. Even though you are mature, even though you can handle the obligations and responsibilities of a relationship, you can still be distracted by those expectations and obligations of a romantic relationship. Or, some people, most kids and most young people think that romantic relationship is all about roses and chocolate and date night, and there is more to relationships than that. There is obligation.
And that's why I think it's a lot of work. Why would you want to do that? Focus on other stuff that are more important for you. I think at 16, to be honest, I feel like at 16 you don't even know yourself very well. I think get to know yourself, get to discover yourself. I really feel like you are leaning toward
the wait a little bit.
Wait a little bit. I feel like it's too much work to put someone else on your radar. I mean, someone else. That sounds selfish, but what I mean is, when it's a romantic relationship takes a lot.
Yes.
Of work, a lot of dedication,
and there is a time for it in life. There is a time.
There's a time for
it. Yes, there is.
But when you have to get to know yourself, you're doing school, you're doing things that are you're building yourself up to be, an important person in the society. I think you're wasting time.
Let's try to describe a mature person. I think when we are talking about maturity, someone can be 16 or 15 and they think or they feel like they're mature or they've matured enough. They can handle the obligations and expectations of a romantic relationship. Let's define maturity. Who is a mature person? You can be in a relationship as much as you want. You can have 20,000 relationships, but if they are not healthy, you will hate romance. You will hate romantic relationships. So a mature person is someone who take full responsibility of their tasks. Hello, Sama. How are you?
Sama girl.
Are you in a relationship or not?
Stay here, your papa. Okay, sit. Or go.
So someone who takes responsibility for their tasks so they can start it and finish it. Someone who doesn't need to be reminded to do what they're supposed to do. That is someone I see to be mature.
So what you mean, someone who can start a task and finish it? Some people are old, they can't finish a task.
No, not in that sense. Not because you are sick.
No, not necessarily
not
sick.
Because you are sick.
No, I'm saying like some people are like, they start something and they're like, I'm bored, I want to do something else.
No, it's a lack of maturity if you have to be reminded to finish what you've started.
Maybe to be reminded.
Yes. You need to be responsible with your tasks in life. You need to be able to take a task and finish it, I mean, to the best of your ability. A task that you've been
by
given.
A task, what do you mean? Like, what example?
If you are making your bed, you need to finish it. If you are asked to mow the lawn, you have to finish it.
What you mean is you need to be responsible with your life. For example, you know very well that nobody should remind you to make your bed.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody should remind you to shower.
Exactly.
Nobody should remind you to wash your clothes and all that.
You should not.
You should be able to cook your food.
Enter a romantic relationship if you are not responsible for your own life. If you don't do your own things and expect the other person to be the one to remind you all the time to brush your teeth or to simple things like that. That is immaturity, and people enter a relationship without being ready because they are not mature in that.
Yeah.
The second trait I would mention is owning your mistakes. It's immaturity not to be able to acknowledge when you've done something wrong and own it and apologize. And some people go into relationships without maturing in that area.
Some people are
you can be old without being mature.
You can be aged. You can be 25 and still don't know how to own your mistakes.
Growing up and maturing are two different things.
Oh, good.
Aging and maturing are two different things. You can be old without maturing. And romantic relationships require maturity to survive. They do.
So most at 16 and 13, come on, let's just be honest.
I don't know if it's about a number. I don't think it's about a number. I think you can be 16 and mature. You can be 50 and immature.
Yes, I think the number is also important. We're not, otherwise, number is important. I think at 13, focus on some other good stuff, important to your life. At 16, still focus on.
I don't think that a 13 years old person is mature enough. Mostly today, maybe our parents were.
No, it's 1,000,000 years ago. Nobody was mature then. Sorry. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say that about my mother. But I think maturity, it comes also, age can help, experience in life can help. So if you're 16 and you are responsible, you can do all these things, like you can own your mistakes, that's fine. But most people at that age, you still remind them to make up their bed. You still remind them to do certain things. So
yeah, they don't even think,
mostly boys, I would say. Yeah. Oh, sorry, boys. Sorry, no. Most people. If you can express your viewpoint, your opinion, or you can express your emotions effectively, you are mature. If you can't, you are immature. If you are able to...
What do you mean by expressing your emotions?
Like if you can cry when you need to, if you can laugh when you need to, if you can express that you are unhappy when you need to, you can be angry.
Is it if you can express or it's if you can express and the way you express?
Yeah, that's why I said effectively. Effectively, by that I mean you have to express your emotions and be aware of the surrounding. You can be angry, but do it in a mature way. Don't break stuff around. Don't throw things at people because you're angry. That is a lack of maturity. Yeah, express your emotions. Be happy, but don't over party.
Yeah.
It's a lack of maturity.
Yeah.
It's lack of responsibility. We go back to responsibility.
Yeah.
And most people don't mature in that area. When they have a particular emotion, when they're angry, they really get angry and destroy everything around them or hurt people around them.
So I think that's why
lack of maturity. Yeah.
I think that's why people have said anger is bad. Angry is bad because I think it's because of what happens
people
when you're
don't
angry.
manage it well. Yes, uncontrolled anger is bad. But anger, to be able to express your anger is necessary in a relationship. You need to know when your spouse is angry. You need to know. It's necessary for you to be able to express it. But it's not good when you hide your emotions. It's not even healthy. It's not even healthy for you.
So you're able to express your emotions effectively?
And your opinions. To be able to say what you think. Like to say what you think. It's a sign of maturity to be able to express what you think and let the person in the relationship know that what you think.
Yeah.
That is maturity. Hiding what you think is immaturity. Another one, it's respecting other people's opinions and emotions. It's a sign of maturity. If you can let people cry and respect that they need space to cry.
Yeah.
If you can let people celebrate and allow them to celebrate. If you can let people say what they think and let them say it. And when it comes to relationships, like in a marriage, in a romantic relationship, that is space where people need to be able to express. You need to be able to express your emotions and your opinions to your spouse or to your romantic. How do you say? Your significant.
See, now you're going back to what I'm saying. At
16?
13 and 16.
Why are you mixing 13 and 16?
Time.
Why are you mixing 13 and 16? I think 16 you are more mature. The difference between 13 and 16 is wide, is big.
You're still a baby.
You're still a baby? At 16, I think you can.
I think you can do so much at 16 comparing that 13.
Yes.
But relationship
wise. And that's the thing, because
you can build a good relationship at work at 16. That's cool.
Yes.
You know, like have a good relationship with your boss, have a good relationship with your friends. You don't have to be in a relationship.
I agree with you on one thing, that at 16, many people still make these mistakes. They are not able to express their emotions effectively or wisely. They are not able to express. But the problem is, some people even cross 30 and still immature in this area.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know at which age. I'm being reserved. I'm being careful not to put a number to when people mature, and just say, until you mature, you don't have permission to be in a romantic relationship. That's how I feel. I feel like people should be. You should be looking for a partner who is mature, not a partner who is old or is old enough. Not someone who is 18 or someone who is 15 or someone who is 20, but someone who is mature.
Yeah, but that's dangerous then, because
because we'll find pedophiles now. No, okay, you are right.
That's dangerous. I think there's an age where that's why legally some things are allowed at 18 and stuff.
Yes. Okay, so you need to be able to express your emotions and your opinions effectively, and you need to be able to accept other people's opinions and emotions, to respect them. Another sign of maturity is if you know when a door is closed, when you have to stop something. Immature people keep pushing things. But mature people understand when it's time to move on, when it's time to, or something is not working.
What do you mean? Is it like in the relationship, or what? Like what do you mean?
In life in general, yeah. For example, these are applicable. These points are applicable in every aspect of life. Immature people keep pushing for something, like babies, and unless you give them a lolly, they are not going to stop crying until they get the lolly. Is
it pushing or reacting a certain way? For example,
yes, I think so.
Babies that will cry until we give them whatever toy that they're crying for in the shop. Yes. But some people have pushed and got 10 no's and got to a point where they got a yes because they persevered. So
perseverance and knowing when a door is closed are two different things. Yeah. Okay. Perseverance is when you have a goal. You have a goal, and you are going for that goal, and you see some challenges on the way. You persevere despite the challenges. When things are not going your way, let me say that, I recognize when things are not going your way, and you accept the fact that they are not going your way. It's okay to live with things that are not going your way, because in relationships there is a lot of compromise. You need to understand.
I see what you mean.
Yes, I think it's a tricky thing.
You need to be able to learn to
compromise,
to not be rigid with the way you see
what
things.
You want. With what you want.
Okay, so that's not. Yeah, I see.
That's what I wanted to say.
Good.
Like you need to be
willing to be like, okay, maybe
I don't have to have 100% all the time. I can live with 50% and be happy with that, because that's a sign of maturity in relationships.
Yeah, so at 16, really.
At 16, some people can. I'm defending. I think 16 people, young people who are 16, you should write some comment here and thank me for defending your cause, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
So you need to be able to say, okay, I don't have to have
everything.
I say
my
in everything.
Way. Yes.
It doesn't have to go my way.
Yes. You don't have to give an opinion in everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Another sign of maturity is learning to win with grace and lose with dignity. It's a very tricky thing for many people. Winning with grace is when you win, you don't try to crush the other part. So in a relationship, if we were having an argument or we're having different opinions, and my opinion, a heated conversation, and my opinion wins, I should be able to win with grace. They say it's safe. Like I should be able to win without crushing the other side. To respect.
But
some people win bad. Like they win and they make you.
Do you need to win though in a relationship?
No. When you win, if there is,
is it like? Is there? It's
no.
Not
You don't want you. we've just talked about accepting to live without winning, or without always getting what you want. That was the previous point I made. But this one here is, even when you get what you want, you don't crush the other part. You don't want your partner to feel like you are always right, or your ideas are better. And now you see my idea was good. You see it's working. You see now you know this result is because of me. It's your idea was
I see.
wrong.
So at
some people win like that. You're going back to 16 again.
Wasting time.
Yeah, winning with grace in a relationship is important. Always allow your spouse or your partner to save face, not to be ashamed because things did not go their way, or things went your way and you succeeded. Fine, it's not the end of the world. Don't try to tell them, yeah, you see, I hate you see, babe. I don't like when people say, I told you.
It feels good though. You see?
Yeah, but it's not good for relationship.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good for relationship. Yeah. You need to win with grace. When you lose, you don't need to cheat to win. So you lose because you tried your best. In relationship, that is important. You try your best. You don't crush everything on your way. As you are losing, you let it die together. No, it's okay to lose with dignity. When you are having...
So by losing, you mean it's okay? Is it losing an argument?
An argument, yes, an argument. Marriage or romantic relationship is all about it's communication. Like when your opinion is not winning, lose with dignity.
So your opinion is not necessarily being received. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or you realize that it's not the best in the case. You realize that, my opinion is not the best here. What do? Lose with dignity. Don't try to go down with anger and ridicule the other person. And no, just...
See how much work that is for a 16 years old.
Some 16 years old people can handle this, babe. They can do this. Like you can.
I know some of them they can. I feel like it's
losing with dignity
time.
And winning with grace.
You can use that energy to do so much with your life at 16.
You can. But you can also do this. There are many traits of a mature person, but only to mention these 7. The last one I would mention is knowing your limit.
What do you mean?
Knowing your strength. Immature people don't know their strength. They don't know. They try to do everything. It takes maturity to know what you can and what you can't do.
And be okay with that.
And to be okay with it. Immature people compare themselves with others. And in a relationship, you will see people fighting or comparing. Like the husband is comparing themselves to the wife, the wife comparing themselves to the husband.
It takes time, a lot of time, to get to a point where you know what you can do.
Yes.
And you are okay with it.
Yes.
And really, to be honest, I'm going to be like at 16, you don't know that yet.
You can. Some people can be 16 and they know they can read their limit.
I don't know.
Also
even at 18,
time.
I don't think you know that yet.
Yes, I agree. But some people, if they get in their 30s and they still don't know their limit. They still don't know what they can do better, and what they can't do. I agree with you.
Do you know how long it takes to get to know like yourself? It takes a long time.
It takes time. Some people get to 40 before they get to know exactly what they are capable of. I agree with you. But we also need to admit that some people can quickly mature, and by 16 they can show you all these traits. They can really be responsible. They can. But a successful, a healthy romantic relationship requires all these traits. It requires maturity from both sides. If you have maturity, if you display this trait, you are ready for a romantic relationship. If you are struggling with this, then work on yourself before you commit yourself into a romantic relationship.
So don't waste your time. Do homework. Focus on school. Do all those. That's very important. And then you can do that later.
I love people who say, I like the idea that some people say, work on yourself. The issue is when people say work on yourself, they don't exactly tell you what you are working on. They just say work on yourself. And they waste like 5 years of their lives saying they are working on themselves without knowing what exactly they are working on.
Yeah, that's true. Some people are like that.
Yes. So you need to give yourself a target. Like, what am I working on myself?
Yeah,
what is not working in me? What is the character that I'm trying to change? What are the strengths I'm coming? Yeah. What are my values? What are the strengths I'm trying to improve that I know I'm good at and I'm trying to make them better? What are my weaknesses that I'm trying to accept even? So if you look at these 7 traits and you start just working on them, you're ready for a relationship.
So what you mean is it maturity alone or maturity together with other stuff?
I think I would mention 3. I would mention your age needs to be like, depending on families, on families and on the country too. So what I will say, your age needs to be appropriate to be in a relationship. You can say no to 16 or not, but your age is necessary depending on families. The second thing is maturity, which is the most important to me. You know, you need to display some maturity. And the last one, which is it depends on families too. I don't think it's necessary to be involved in a romantic relationship if you are not ready for marriage, because things can go quick.
Why are you having a relationship in the first place?
Exactly. It's not a relationship.
I don't know. Maybe
a romantic relationship is not for game. It's not a game.
Why are you in a relationship?
Some people, as we said at the start, some people do it for fun. Just want to have fun.
Then you're not mature then.
Exactly.
If you start doing things for fun.
What they don't understand is that it affects the other person's emotions. Don't involve yourself in a relationship without a goal, because the other person might have a goal. And if you are just there for fun, you are really immature. You will be playing with somebody's emotions.
Playing with your emotion and someone else's.
And one thing we need also to know is that in relationship, every time you break up, you take something, like it's like a glue, like a tape, like a, like
there's some heartbreak and wounds.
Exactly. You keep taking something from each person you break up with.
Yeah, and you don't need to have there's some people who have been wounded at 16 years old and they are suffering from that
in their 50s.
In their 50s because of
Yes. Oh, yeah. And some people were wounded in their 30s and the 40s. So we agree. We understand that there's no really age where you can be wounded or not. The point you are trying to make is wait until you are mature to engage in the relationship, or check if the other person is mature to engage in a relationship. That is important. Don't just go into it because you are emotionally attracted to
or because everybody's doing it,
or because everybody's doing it,
or because it's trendy, or because it's there's some mistakes you can do and recover from.
Yes,
but there's some mistakes people don't recover from.
I wouldn't encourage anyone to start a relationship with the aim of learning. Don't think you're going to learn from it. That thing is not something you try. A romantic relationship is not something you try. You are into it, or you are not into it.
You try
something else.
Try
a new shoe, a new pair of shoes, a new pair of jeans. Don't try another person's emotions.
You can start learning to dance, and if you don't like it, go learn how to cook. That's all good. All good. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and listening. We hope you had a good time, because we surely did.
Yeah, we did.
Remember,
don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. Mike and Christelle podcast,
YouTube channel.
And our Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
And see you next time. Bye.